Good evening, everybody. I hope that you are well, and welcome to tonight's Contenders live stream. It has just been an intense day of trading. If you're inside of the Champions group, you'll know what has just happened. We've just been trading a mini, literally 5-second range for the past hour, and it's been absolutely wonderful. So I've just got out of trading that, which went really well, really well. So I'm feeling very happy for tonight's live stream, where we have the three. I think this is the third attempt at doing the entering a trade options stream. For the past 2 weeks, we've had crazy volatility on the Wednesday, and we've said, right, let's put this back a week and let's do live trading. And I think that was, in my opinion, a really good idea, because being able to watch me, trade, entering those positions, knowing where the invalidation is, how I'm managing that trade, I feel it's like, oh, it's so valuable. It's literally, yeah, that is extremely valuable. But tonight we're going to be going over entering the trade option as we have the quiet week. I'm happy. Hope that you all are too. And well, let's begin. I just will make sure everyone can hear me. Okay. Assume everything is good. Everything is really good. I'm so happy with that trade. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. There was a lot resting on my shoulders, basically, because I was very confident with it. But everything looks good. So we will begin the live stream tonight. So let's take a drink and begin. If I can drink. But I hope you all are too. We're getting some like real positive, energy and just positive vibes inside of the group. I think, we're trading really well. People are taking on the content. I feel that this, like, over the past few weeks, being able to have seen me do these trades, I think it has improved people's confidence in their own abilities. So I don't know, I'm just feeling really good, positive about everything at the moment. So let's begin, let's carry it on. So tonight's live stream, chart of the week. This stream was obviously planned for 3 weeks ago. And I was planning to go over Ethereum in the chart of the week, but it's now outdated. I'm not going to lie. The idea was Ethereum, but the idea of ETH is now a little outdated. I think I might do chart of the week last and maybe cover Bitcoin. So I think I'll just start with then entering the trade options, because my idea for chart of the week, as this stream was 3 weeks ago, supposed to be, the obviously idea of ETH is now already played. So maybe I'll cover Bitcoin towards the end. So we're going to focus on entering trade options, which is really important. And then we'll obviously end with our questions. So as I'll always say, is you want to give me your full focus during tonight's live stream. So block out all distractions. I know Bitcoin is moving, but try and block out Bitcoin. Who cares about what Bitcoin's doing? Give me your full attention, and you'll reap the rewards over the long term. So Contenders live stream. Trade entry options, that's what we're going through tonight. With trade entry options, what I'm referring to here is how I actually go about entering trades. So you will notice a lot of my trades are taken, we'll go over that tonight, I suppose. So presetting orders, market entries, and alarms. These are your 3 trade options for entering a trade. And I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons of each, as well as then ending with how I take a good 90% of my trades. And I feel I'm pretty good at my entries. So let's go. This was some traders miss entries waiting for the perfect entry. Okay, so then I just took a few screen grabs from the group, and we know Chris, we know Igor, we know myself, and you'll see a common theme between how we all trade. Chris Chris takes a lot of entries at Market Igor. He's this was back on the 6th of November, but he also agrees market entries when you're having. We're going to go over the pros and cons, but these are just some screen grabs that we saw from how people manage trades in certain contexts. Obviously, each trade has its own context. Okay, we need to acknowledge each trade has its own context, and then how we go about actually deciphering that into what context is right for this trade tonight. So we're starting with the preset order, and I would say this is what a good 90% of traders use. It's the most common order type. Let me just verify something very swiftly here. Oh no, you know what? I didn't click go live. Yeah, I didn't click go live. You know, this is what happens when I'm trying to manage when I've just got out of managing all my trades. Yeah, that happens. Where's Dan? 5 minutes late. That's not like him. No, I've actually been speaking to myself for the past 10 minutes. So yeah, just managing the trade properly. Everybody knew what I was doing with that trade. Yeah, I have actually been speaking for the past 10 minutes. This is obviously going to be uploaded to the website after this. You're going to see that fail. What a fail. Oh my, I can't believe I've done that, but you haven't really missed anything thus far. We've literally just started the stream. Okay, so this is what we're covering tonight. Preset of orders. So we're going over the live stream tonight. Chart of the week, entering trade options and questions. The 3 trade options are presetting orders, market entries, and alarms. So I've only just said what I'm going to be covering tonight. This was the first screen, and then we're starting now. Okay. I did wonder why nobody was saying, yeah, audio's okay. I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm sure it will be okay. Of orders. So but now I am sure everything is okay. It is because my mind was in this other trade that I'm in. But that is going extremely well. Yeah, I'm very content. So presetting orders. This is the order type which I feel the majority of traders would use. They would use this type of order. It's the most common that you come across. You'll generally see a lot of people just presetting their orders, you know, presetting their bids. And I'm going to give you again, none of you heard this because I've already been speaking for 10 minutes, but I'm going to go over the pros and cons of some of this tonight. Obviously, I really recommend that you all watch back this on the website if you're not already watching this tomorrow, for example, on the website. So presetting orders. This is commonly used by swing traders, and it removes a lot of the in the action emotions and changing of a plan when price reaches a level. So you have to think to yourself, how many times have you price has reached a level that you're interested in trading, and then as it reaches that price, you've really got caught up in the moment. You're thinking to yourself, oh, I might do this, I might do that, I might do this, might do that. You know, it gets to the level that you know, let's say you've been wanting to buy a level for a month, and price finally reaches that level, and then when it reaches the level, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I don't want to buy, it might go lower, and then you miss the trade as it goes back up. Obviously, it removes, one would imagine, it removes some of that emotion of being in the action, so to speak. By presetting, you can preset your order and walk away for the day, and then you don't have that extra emotion, which some people like. So that's obviously a positive. That is I would say the number one positive of presetting a bid or an offer and walking away. You've done your analysis, you're happy with what will be. Okay, and we move on to number 3. It can cause unnecessary losses. So what I mean by this is, by presetting an order, and again, let's just use the example. We want to buy Bitcoin at $19,000 and it's sat at $19,500. Let's say we preset our bid at 19,000 and price goes from 19,000 all the way to 18,000. You've took an unnecessary loss from presetting the bid with zero confirmation. So we expand. I expand across upon this as we continue tonight's live stream. Okay. Your next option is obviously market entries. So this is commonly used by swing traders and day traders. Everybody basically will come across this. Adds an emotional aspect of trading. So obviously the presetting of bids is totally what's the word I'm looking for here? Presetting is obviously removes the emotion. With market entries, you do have that added, can you deal with not changing your plan as it comes to a level that you're waiting to buy? Can you deal with that? I mean, personally, I 100% can deal with it. That's why I like this aspect of trading, or this strategy per se of trading. Whereas, somebody else might be always doubting themselves, etc., or just changing the plan in the moment when there's no need to change the plan. So obviously market entries are 100%, without a doubt, they are adding a big aspect of emotion. So you need to conquer that to move forwards. Obviously that's the negative, and the positive is losses should be less common as you are buying from a step of confirmation. You're actually wanting to see the price action, and you're not just hoping. Like I would almost, quote unquote, class presetting orders as a hope, because you've done your analysis and then you hope that it bounces there. So let's say you preset the CC, you just hope that it bounces there. Whereas with the market entry, you'd have actually seen that price bounces and then you get involved. That's obviously a big advantage. Okay, so then we move on to the third system, and then I'll cover what I trade and how I trade it, is alerts. So this is, again, commonly used by swing traders and day traders. So everybody would use this. Allows you to review action. So what I mean is, the example that price is 19,500. I want to buy 19,000. I have my alert go off at 19,000, and then I can come to the computer and review the action of what's going on. Has it blown straight through? Is it getting a nice bounce? Are we getting bullish CVD divergences, etc., etc., etc.? I can get an informed decision. So I can make an informed trade. And making an informed decision, you are totally removing any aspect of hope. You're totally removing any aspect of might do this. You're actually going off of 100% what has happened. You're able to go on to ExoCharts, for example. We can just load up a nice live example. That I just took, if we come down onto a lower term time frame, you will know that I just took a short position off of up here. Okay, and I have already hit my take profit one, by the way. I'll show you this trade because I took this on the I don't have a username on this. 1 second, let me just change this. PC doesn't matter what it's called, but I'll show you this trade. It was pretty cool. Let's just do this. Okay, so this trade here is a short position, and it was taken from up here. And the reasonings for this was based off of, we come into the VWAP, and we saw this really big bearish CVD divergence. Again, this is arguably already played out, so it's we've had the drop now. So just remember that we've had the drop. That's why I've taken profit on it. But what we had here was into the VWAP with some bearish CVD divergences. And I shorted this on every single account I have. Every single account I have, I took the short on this VWAP. And, I'm very content with this, obviously. But the reason why I'm highlighting this is because I can make an informed trade. Instead of just placing a short here when price was down here and thinking to myself, well, I'm just going to place a short order here and just hope. So we'll just load this and I'll just show you. Instead of thinking, I hope price bounces off of here and I hope it rejects, I've said to myself, right, I can make an informed decision. Why am I confident in shorting this? This is obviously a nice trade. Why was I confident in shorting this? Because in the time I've made an informed decision, I have seen, let me show you on this view. I've seen this go on. Okay, so I'm able to zoom into the price action. I knew I wanted to short it. Didn't try and click on that. Second time lucky. I've been able to zoom in on the price action and I've been able to see this. 3 million. Again, we're in the VWAP. This is my alert. I'm now making an informed decision. 4 million buying, 3 million buying, 3 million buying, 7 million, 9 million, 2 million, 3 million, 6 million. I mean, there is several millions going into the VWAP here, and they're just buying like crazy. So I've made an informed decision. I'm no longer presetting. You know, I didn't preset here thinking, oh, I'll just short the VWAP and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. You know, I've not done that. I've waited till my alert goes off, and then I've made a very well-informed decision. And I'm going to take another profit on this. That is, on this count alone, that is now $3,000 profit in an hour. You know, $3,000 for 1 hour's work off of this trade from an informed decision trade. There is total, you know, this is just a very good example of how I love to trade. I wait for the alert to go off, and I even laid this out. I will give you the example because the example was really beautiful here. You know, I had the invalidation. Oh, this was quite funny. My plan was to long, then I shorted with Daniel. God help me. I was like, you are welcome. Well, I mean, what a result that has been. And I have just taken another profit, just so you're all aware. So I've taken another profit on that. I'm not going to be able to do it on across all my accounts, but this is the account that I've done it on. But what was great about this was I was filling my shorts. I was happy about it. But the problem, the thing was, I had an invalidation. I'm trying to find, this is what I was trading. So we were going from low to high to low, and I was trading a 5-second range. It was amazing. And I'm saying, imagine buying 10 million into the VWAP. What if we blow past it? And I'm saying, not if he gets liquidated first. And guess what? The people that are buying 10 million up here, probably using high leverage, what's just happened as we've pulled back, they've liquidated themselves. So even if we go up right now, they've been liquidated before the rise. So who won? Who won this battle? The chart champions won the battle because that was an absolutely amazing trade. Where was my invalidation? 19,150. I fully filled my short. Easy invalidation. 19,150. You want to know what the high was, ladies and gentlemen? You want to know what the high was? Where my stop loss? 19,150. The high of the move? $19,147. That's working out the invalidation by $3. My invalidation was not hit by $3, and then we have the retrace. The reason why I've taken profits here is because guess what we bumped into? Surprise, surprise, surprise. We come into the CC. So obviously I take profit. If you think I don't take profit here, then, you know, this is a take profit, ladies and gentlemen. And we've just gone from an absolute perfect short position up here to taking this into the CC. That's what we do. And that is how we trade. Very happy with this. And, you know, that's how I can highlight to you how I absolutely love to trade. And it's making informed trades. So, you know, I've had the alert of the VWAP. I've then binded my time trading an initial mini range. I've then saw millions and millions of buyers going into the highs. I'm thinking, you know, it can break out. So I've got an invalidation. I've then worked out a really good stop loss, which again was missed by $3 on my trade. Price missed my invalidation. We've just dropped down to the CC. That's going to have liquidated all of those high leverage traders. They are liquidated. They are out of the positions. You know, that's powerful. And now we've liquidated them. You have the possibility of getting another rise potentially. But that's how I love to trade, with alerts. And I think that's a live example in the moment for you of why I absolutely love to trade like this. Okay. So, well, what's my choice? You have 3 options. What do you think my choice is? You probably know. I love to use alerts. I love to use alerts at levels I'm interested in trading. When the alert goes off, I can then review the price action, volume, open interest, for example, GC, so gold correlations. So while we're at that level, I can go across to the stock market. What's the stock market doing? What's Ethereum doing? What's XRP doing? What's gold doing? What's the open interest like here? What's the volume like? What's the delta like? You know, I'm making such a good informed decision. I want to get this out of the way. I can still be wrong on my decision, But the likelihood of being wrong when you have all that extra data really should be very low. And this is why I can trade with such high win rates. You've seen many of my accounts, they are extremely high win rates. And the reason I can have really high win rates is because I only take the best trades, period. You know, I'm not going to be taking a hope trade because I'm not presetting generally. I'm not going to be taking a trade where I don't have an informed decision to have made. Every trade that I'm taking is informed. So it's very hard, you know, there's the possibility of losing. But that possibility of losing, as you can see from that example, has been greatly diminished. And if I had taken the loss, I'd have taken a loss for about 0.4%. So the loss absolutely tiny in comparison to the win, which is about 4 times the size of the loss that I could have taken. And so I love to make these informed decisions with no hope, basically. And now we have some examples for you. Would you buy this CC in uptrend? This is a question for you, so you have to try and make this decision. We're in a major uptrend here, major high term time frame uptrend. Let's say, would you buy the CC? So are you happy to place a bid here and place a bid here and walk away? Is that a method you would use to trade? Would you be content with placing buy orders here at the CC and walking away? Think about this for a second. You're in a big uptrend. Would you be okay to buy this CC level? You know, placing an order and then going to sleep, placing an order, going away for a week. Are you content with placing bids here and walking away? Well, let's see what happens. Price went straight through the CC. So if you had a preset, you would have been stopped out instantly as you took the low of the move. Okay, so there was the low. You go straight through the low. You go from, you know, you drop over $2,000 in the space of a few hours, sort of thing, and you instantly get stopped out. So you can see the disadvantage here of presetting bids, can't you? You know, if you preset here, you've just took a really big loss, because even if you had a stop loss, let's say you preset here and you placed your stop loss here, maybe, so that's a stop loss of, you know, $300. The slippage on this is going to get you out probably of a stop loss towards the lows. So you might have done your risk management and used the correct position sizing, but what you have not prepared for is the slippage that will occur on a liquidation run like this. So you might have position size thinking, right, I'm going to buy 9,000. I've got my stop loss 8,800. And you've entered the position size for that. But then what happens is you get the slippage and your stop loss doesn't execute until $8,200. So you've took an extra $600 in terms of a Bitcoin loss. And it can hurt because you're not prepared for that kind of loss. And that's why I do not really like to preset. Okay. So what do I like to do? The way I like to trade, I would have an alert go off. So for example, if I wanted to buy this CC, I would place an alert there, and the alert, once it's gone off, within a second, 1 second later, for example, I'm at my PC, I'm checking, and guess what? Price has gone all the way down another $1,000. So I would have had the alert price and seen prices already at the lows. Okay, there's no trade there, no trade to be had. Because we have gone straight through the level. Okay, I hope that makes sense. This is another example. I just need to check something really quickly. Okay, cool. So this is another example of how I really like to trade, and an example of why I like to trade like this. Market order or miss the trade. So this is an example. This is quite a nice example. The trade was literally at 4 a.m. So that you can go back and check all this. This was a 4 a.m. trade, and this was, well, this must have been about 3 weeks ago now, because it would have been prior to doing the stream. About 3 weeks ago, while we were sat at around 15,000. You can see here, literally at 4 a.m. And I actually remember this trade, because this trade, I remember this trade because of the fact that I woke up at 4 a.m. for it. And price come up into 15,460. And as you can see, this is a 1 minute chart, I believe. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. So 4 minutes of, if I had a limit order here, I would miss the trade. So what I've done here at 406, as you can see, 406, I've just hit market sell. And literally we go from 15,460 all the way to 15,350. So over $100 move that if I was waiting with limit orders, I would have missed the trade. So what's better, market order or miss the trade? I hope the question is kind of obvious, or the answer is obvious. Obviously, market orders are much better than missing a trade. You know, that in my opinion, you know, you're paying less than 0.1% for the market order, but at least you're getting involved. So what I done on this, again, this was an early trade, but I woke up, had my alert go off, again, 4 a.m. I had my alert go off and I saw absorption. Okay, let's market short. I market short and price moves down $100 and hunky dory, everything's good. So another example. So this is a trade example from a few weeks ago now, which was 2 swing failure pattern setups. I always wait for the reaction, never preset orders, always market orders after the swing failure. So you can probably remember this if you cast your minds back a little bit, where I was going for a swing failure pattern of this low and then a swing failure pattern of this low. The trade was so clever and the trade worked absolutely perfectly. I was going for a swing failure here to a swing failure up here and looking for this to complete the harmonic. That was an amazing trade, if I say so myself. Obviously, this was all given prior, no hindsight, nothing like this. I like to trade, and this was obviously a post to the Champions group. I like the swing failure pattern type trades as invalidation is so close, both for the low and high in this triangle. One of them will come and I will long the lows or short the highs. So I'm either going to long B or short C. Well, in the end, I got them both. Alerts for both though. So what happens in this example? I think it might be on the next one. Yes. So basically, this is what you call predictions. We got the move to the downside, we got the move back up, and we got the move back down. We got the move down, we got the move up, and we got the move. Oh my, this was amazing. We got the move, we got that move down, got the move up, and we got the move back down. But you can see here I've attached the picture of the entry from the swing failure pattern. Okay, so from the swing failure pattern that we got, I'm entering at market. Okay, so you can kind of see this on the next one. We got the move down through the level. Why would I not preset here? Because if I had preset here and price dumps, I take a massive loss, an unnecessary loss. Instead, price goes through the level. I market entry as soon as we get above this level, market long, we move up. Again, if we swing failure pattern and I'm sat there with a limit order, I'm saying to myself, oh, I don't want to pay 0.1%. And then I miss a move, which is like a 3% move. It just does not make sense. And you can see here, I hope that you can see, you might need to zoom in a little, but there's no pullback. So if you're waiting with a limit order, you're not filled on any of this move until all the way up here, which is like another $100 higher. So this is how I trade swing failure patterns. You wait, nothing preset, you wait for the swing failure pattern, and then you market entry. This is how I trade it. You can make your own strategy, I suppose, but that's how I trade it. So as I've said then for the low, and this is the low for point D, I won't preset for that. Obviously, I'm saying where I'm looking for the daily. If you look originally, so this is an amazing example. I'm looking for the D to be put in on the daily. Okay. That's where that's where I was expecting the D. Down, up, down. We got the down, we got the up. And as we're coming down, this was the section, again, this was about a few weeks ago now, but my post was around here. And I've said to everybody in the Champions group, I'm not going to preset on this daily. Trying to knife catch on a weekend is not a good idea. Just wait for trend change. Do not preset bids. Okay. In the end, instead of presetting at 15,000 and having to see all the drawdown to 14,400, what I've done is I've waited while in a short. So I'm maximizing gains because I'm short from C. So instead of closing at 15,000 and then unnecessarily seeing a bigger loss, I've actually managed to hold into the short until I've saw the trend change. We bring it all the way down to 14,400. We get the 5-minute trend change. I enter at 14,000 $600. You know, an amazing example of why I do not preset here and why I'm waiting for the trend change. And then I will just enter, you know, enter a market as soon as I see the trend change, as soon as I see that level of confirmation. Changes me from a average trader, let's say, to a really good, I don't want to, you know, it turns me into a sensible trader, let's put it like that. So I didn't preset orders at the daily. In the end, price went $600 lower and I got a much better entry. Let's imagine I had preset a long at 15,000. Well, the truth is I probably would have closed it by the time it got down to 14,600 and I would have took an unnecessary loss. Obviously not a great idea. Another example, trade setup I wanted to take a long from. Same setup from Champions livestream on Sunday. Oh, again, this is a few weeks ago now, but did not want to preset bids, needed to see the reaction first. So this was a swing trade setup that I gave to the chart champions 3 weeks ago, I presume. And I didn't want to preset a long here. And in the end, long entry was taken at market after I see evidence that support I was waiting for is actually holding as support and a big buyer stepping in. So I didn't want to preset here because if I remember correctly, this was the 2nd of November. And I didn't want to preset because there was too much of a gamble almost. For me, it was too much of a gamble that price would have not got a bigger retrace. So yeah, that's the reason why I didn't want to preset. Okay, and as we can see, I managed to get an entry almost at the daily, but this was off of seeing the big buyers actually step in. We had the trap shorts, we had the big buyers, and then I've made an informed decision of, okay, actually this is a good long. And hunky-dory sort of thing. Still in a scalp long, might turn into a swing trade as I'm not taking profit yet. Take profit tactic. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to cover off with the Discord. I forgot that I planned this bit. Yeah. So this was a long position from the same section. So the long here, I've done a really, really, really good tactic. Still in scalp long, might turn into a swing trade if not taking any profits yet. Take profit tactic. So this is how I turn a scalp trade into a swing trade. Okay, I'm going to have to find this on Discord because basically I said I'd run through this on the Discord. So let me just find this a second. I need to find this on Discord. Basically, the reason why I want to show you the thread is because it's interesting, I think, to see my thought process as it was happening. So I need to find this. So the post here, quite happy with this. Let's try and find it. Happy with, yes. So I should have had this prepared, but it kind of went past my mind. So we're looking for, I'm trying to find the post. Basically, I entered somewhere in here that I entered a long position. It's around here somewhere, but took a long, I must be around here. Here we go. Took a long. You can see we come down to the daily level that I was waiting for, and I've told everyone, right, I've taken a long position. And so now we'll start the thread, so it makes sense. And this, by the way, to give it a bit of context, this is how I manage my stop losses. So this is how I manage my stop loss. And this is how, so you're aware, this is how I turn a scalp trade into a swing trade. So you might wonder, how does Daniel sometimes enter a scalp that turns into a swing? Well, this is how I absolutely done it. So originally, I've entered a long, but this was only going to be for a scalp position. But what I've managed to do is turn a scalp into a long by using a trading stop loss strategy that I use myself personally. So if we go down through this now, biggest day, oh yeah, so this was, I suppose, yeah, biggest day of the year, obviously the 2nd of November, and here we were taking long positions on Bitcoin. And if you remember correctly, I know this was on the 9th of November, sorry, biggest swing up and down when the US markets open on the first day after election results, and apparently a vaccine will certainly go down in history. And here we are longing Bitcoin. That was longing Bitcoin at 14,000. We hit almost $5,000 higher than this, ladies and gentlemen. So that did go down in history of a long. And the way that I traded this was a scalp, and obviously looking for around 16,000 at the time. And we'll progress of how I managed this, so you can see the thought process a bit live with the running update slider. Yeah, here we go. So at the moment, I've not taken any profits, just monitoring. So I'm managing this trade by not taking profits, but actually trading a stop. And I want to explain how we get about this. Oh yeah, so here's an example of a high win rate. 23 trades, 100% win rate. You know, that's why you trade with confirmation. Price action on the low term time frame is classic of a squeeze. So we're making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay. So what I'm doing with this is trading the stop, higher low, moving to stop, moving to stop, moving to stop, moving to stop. .66 right on the point of control. Obviously it was a choppy day. I'm using my stop loss to turn this into a swing trade by moving it 2 higher lows back, 2 higher lows back, 2 higher lows back. So I'm adjusting my stop loss. I like to use that. If we keep squeezing, I can hold a scalp into a swing trade. It's a tactic I like to use a lot. I actually like to do it all manually. I leave the order of my take profit 1 in the market order screen. And then if we lose 15,070 with close, I will mark it out my take profit 1. I don't like the automatic systems as they can not judge strength like a human can. So what I mean by this is I'm not automatically using the standard trading stop loss. I don't want to use the standard system. What I'm doing is I'm using a manual system by myself, because I like to think I can judge strength better than any sort of bot or any sort of just standard thing. Okay. So then I would take 20% if price moves down to higher lows. And then now, as we can see, I managed to then turn a scalp trade. Well, this, we all know where it went. It obviously went up a lot. But I managed to trade a scalp trade into a swing trade. And I was giving some options for like compounding. Again, that's where I'd want to compound for a long. And obviously we got above that. I managed to compound the long, adding 20% onto it. And the thread goes on. This was a few weeks ago now, so it's kind of struggling to remember everything. No take profit at VWAP. I want to swing the trade. So again, that's why I'm not taking profits early, because I want to turn this trade into a swing long. Okay, so rather than taking profits at small levels, I'm trying to hold it longer. I think this goes on. Happy with this, not taking any profits yet. Keep the winner as big as, again, so I've kept the winner massive where I could have taken profits here or here. I've kept the win really, really, really big. Daniel, you literally gave it on a plate once again. Not a signals group, but I give good signals. But yeah, that's as much as I can remember of this. Basically, that's how I turned a scalp trade, okay, into a swing trade from trading the stop loss with the higher lows. And if price, so let's say price had done this, I'm sat there with my finger over the market button. So if price does this, okay, then that's where I would market close my take profit. Again, so it's a take profit order, not a stop loss, but a take profit order. I'm trading a take profit at market manually with the eye sort of thing. I've compounded my long. Looks like your Head and Shoulders plan is getting invalidated now for this guy. Never can. I remember this actually. This must have been a few weeks ago, but I think this was last week maybe. I must have compounded a long position, and another example from today of compounding a long when there is clear strength. Okay, so basically what I'm saying here is I'm adding to long positions, so I'm adding with strength. So as price is moving up, I'm happy to buy more because I'm adding with strength. I'm not getting fearful or anything. I'm not, I'm adding with the strength of the move. I remember correctly, this must have been on a Wednesday. On the US Open, we started to get that strength. So we also saw confluence with that. Same Interscope short from that last third push. And this was from today, a trade example from today. So I got into a short position today from $19,400. And I was asked, curious if I got in at limit. And I say, no, I got in at market. As you can see here, the market entries from around 19,400. So again, I've not preset here trying to time the high, but I've seen the high taken and then straight away I've entered a market short because the trigger is there essentially. The trigger to take the short is there. So without hesitation, I just market entry into my short, and well, the rest is history. So we got a big move down. But I couldn't have done this. Well, I could have preset on this one, but you see the risk is not really worth it. I would have risked a lot of money unnecessarily. So I can just market short as soon as there was the rejection. A conversation from last week. So this conversation, I can't really remember. Majority of my trades are at market. Okay, so I'll read this out for you. I'll commentate. Majority of my trades are at market as I wait for what I want and then enter. Let's say you preset along at the 6.6 today, and 1 minute later, price is down another $300. If you just wait for the reaction and market buy, you will lose a lot less trades. Like you said, the market fee is nothing compared to the profits you'll make. Exactly, I don't even think about the 0.07% fee when I'm looking for 1% profit. I used to lose a lot of trades when I first started by presetting at levels, only to see the level not hold and then sell the low as I was underwater. Then I changed to using alerts, waiting to see the reaction and then market buying. It's no longer buying or presetting in hope of a reversal. We wait and see and buy with strength instead of presetting longs on weakness. You understand? Yes, I hope you understand. So that's what I wanted to go through tonight. There's 3 different entry type techniques. Pick which works for you. Okay, really simply. three different ways, or there's a lot of different ways you could go in trading, but at the end of the day, you have to pick the system or strategy per se, which works for you. There's not a one fits all. It's kind of, you have to think what works for you. Any questions? Any questions, let me know, and we will go through them. Let me see our question pool. I'm sure we'll have some questions. Let's see. Yes, we do. Let's see what we got here then. So, how do you practically manage trading on 7 accounts market buying? Any tips on managing more than one? Well, I have a lot of different accounts, obviously, but the way that I'd be managing this is I'd obviously give focus to my main account. So my main account is the one that would get the focus. And I have a few different scalp trading accounts, but I have only one main scalp trading account. So I generally am looking at one account for longing, one account for shorting if I'm already in a position I want to hold 2 at the same time, and then one for if a scalp trade turns into a swing trade and then I need to free up that other account. So I'm not really going like, I have all the windows open to manage my different accounts, but I'm giving priority, obviously, to my one main scalp trading account. Okay. So the tip, I suppose, is try and do the same. You know, you can have lots of different accounts. You know, that's normal, but you have to give obviously a priority to one account. Or on top of giving a priority to one account, I could say, I'm testing out some software at the moment, which makes it very easy to manage lots of accounts. You've obviously got Trader Tiger, which is free. And there's some software coming out in the future that we'll talk about soon. But that's up and coming. I can't really talk about it yet. On what bet basis did you set your stop loss where you set it? Was it just above the CC, or was there some reason? Above that 19,150. For me, that reason why I placed my stop loss there, I'll show you. Because it was a really, really, really nice stop loss. The reason why it was there is because of this, what I saw. Move this up a little bit. So I saw all of these millions at short. And I said to myself, right, if price gets above where everybody has been defending their shorts, I don't want to be in a short anymore. So I was basically using the footprint to judge my stop loss. That's how I judged my stop loss on this one. It was off the footprint chart. Okay. See if we got any more questions then. Yep, we have more. Could you talk about the timing of market buying a swing value pattern? Yes. So I do recommend you watch the live stream on this, but basically what I look for is the move. Let's say it's market buying a swing failure off the low. I want to see the drop in open interest and really a drop in volume, and then a reclaim of that level with an increase in open interest and an increase in volume. That for me is a successful swing failure pattern. Obviously, the more millions you see trapped below that low is obviously better. The more millions that you see below that level is better. But basically, yeah, I would prefer to see loss of the level one, decrease in open interest, reclaim of the level one, increase in open interest, and increase in volume. And then I'd market buy. I'd just market buy. Stop loss is below the level, whatever that will be. Stop loss is below that level. I recommend you rewatch the swing failure pattern stream as well. From the example before, VWAP short, how do you know if VWAP is getting claimed or since there were many buys? I was going off of the bearish CVD divergences. I was basically going off of the bearish CVD divergences, and you've probably all saw I had a pretty bearish idea of what could be happening. But I was basically going off of the VWAP retest as well as we had the VWAP retest with the bearish divergences. And we had a level where I thought is going to be defended, essentially. There's all those other questions. If we got any more. I don't think there's any more questions at the moment, or no more have come in yet. There might be some more. I'll finish up with where we were, and then if any more questions come in, then that's absolutely fine. Oh, I heard the sound, which might mean there is more. Yes. I got a good ear. So we do have some more questions. Simply because it was an ultra low risk It was an ultra low risk trade. There was millions upon millions going into long on the VWAP. And I just thought, you know, this is a good short. Whether this ends as a swing trade, I don't even know. But I've taken profits on it. So obviously not my main account. I haven't taken profits yet. But yeah, whether this ends in a swing trade, I'm not sure. But it just was a good setup, you know. I like to trade good. I like to take good trades. So when a good trade like that comes along, I'm not going to be fearful. I'm not going to be second guessing. I'm going to go with my gut feeling. You know, there should be an indicator of Daniel's gut feeling, because when I have a gut feeling of a trade, it generally goes very well. And I just had a gut feeling we were going to go down, at least down before up sort of thing. And that's exactly what happened. And there's all those questions. So yeah, I don't necessarily think this is going to be a swing short, to be honest with you. Like, I'm just trading at the moment. You know, we just have a, you know, that it could be just viewed as a scalp trade, but a nice scalp trade that was given today. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a swing trade, to be honest. So the next champion stream, this is obviously going to be on Sunday, and in the next champion stream, we will be going through obviously the next swing trading setup. So that's where we go through the entry, the stop loss, and the take profit, and I explain the reasons behind that. So that should be a very nice one. So a summary of the key points. Preset limit orders, in my opinion, is very high risk. It's a very high risk because you're essentially putting on a bit of a gamble that your level holds or doesn't hold. Market orders is increased emotions. So you might get very emotional as it's happening, of thinking, oh, I don't want to take the trade now. I do want to take the trade now. Or I shouldn't be doing this. Shouldn't be. You have the emotional aspect. And alerts and then market order, I think, is sensible. So you wait to see what you want to see. So you're no longer going to be in that position of presetting and waking up to a stop loss, presetting and waking up to, massively underwater. You're getting the alert, and then you're looking at the data, and then you're making a sensible, informed trade. Sometimes you might say, I don't want to take this trade anymore because from the data that I have is actually telling me, no, do not buy this. Or you see the data and it looks really good and you buy. So you're making an informed trade. And I think this is the most sensible. And obviously a lot of my, 90% of my trades are at market, where I'll see the reaction that I want to see and I'll get in. I'll just get in. And those are like my favorite trades, those quick trades, those trades that happen really quickly. Those are my favorite. So yeah, that's tonight's live stream then. I do recommend you all go back and rewatch this one because it missed the first 10 minutes. So I do recommend you go back and rewatch it, to be honest, because you basically missed the start of the stream. So yeah, I recommend you rewatch this one, and I'll end with a bit of an analysis on Bitcoin then. I'm going to try and save my throat a little bit. We have this really nice game. Kind of hit it once here, twice here. 2 rejections at the moment. I feel that we have a few different ideas here of left shoulder, head, then a right shoulder, and that gives us a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. We have 2 head and shoulder ideas. Obviously the trend is up. The trend is up. The trend is bullish. That's why we do have to be careful with shorts. But obviously there's money to be made with shorts. You cannot only trade longs. I guess you can, but there's money to be had both ways in the market. Just saying bulls make money. Absolutely. Bears make money. Absolutely. Greedy pigs, they get slaughtered. So you can make money trading longs and shorts. But if you get greedy on any of those trades, eventually you'll lose. But we have this potential head and shoulders. I mean, it might not happen. Really might not happen. At the moment, obviously, you bounced around the 786, or literally you bounced off at the 786 to the dollar. Okay, 786 to the dollar you bounced, and that was also the previous day value area low to the dollar. So you bounced really technically to the dollar low, previous day value area low, to the dollar low 786. So you might not even break this low. You know, you might not break that low. Bounced off of the 786 again. So you bounced off the 786 here, and then you've come up to the 786 here, higher low. Could do this. So something we'll have to obviously watch out for. But at the moment, there is no massive sign of weakness. The trend is up. The trend is bullish, obviously. Shorts should be taken as scalp trades or viewed as scalp trades. Maybe it turns into a swing trade. You should view it initially as a scalp because the trend is up. Trend is really bullish. You know, that's all I can say. The trend is really big bullish. Okay. So with that said, yeah, that's kind of my not really a massive analysis on Bitcoin, but there's not really so much that I can think of just to really say in this video. I shorted the retest of the VWAP, which you all saw, and that was documented. And wow, we actually just wicked into the VWAP once more before another move down. The VWAP is amazing, if you can't tell. So I guess it's bullish if we can reclaim the VWAP. If price does this, holds the VWAP, and we move up again, that's really bullish. Takes out that last high, really. So you really want to see it do this. Okay, that would be pretty bullish. Where we'd probably look, I think you'd probably look to take the highs. I would imagine that you probably look towards, I don't know, all-time highs. Obviously, I would be aware of the reverse fibs. So you rejected the 382. Obviously, you'd be aware of the CC and the 786 again. But yes, that's just something I would say to be aware of. If we reclaim this, be aware of those fibs. But as long as you don't reject off those, I think you look towards $20,000. If we do break down, you know, you got to be aware. If we do start to break down, you got the middle of the channel again, which is around 18,700. And obviously the low of your channel was all the way down at 18,100. But the trend is up. There's no reason to be bearish until the trend changes. You know, the bulls essentially are going to get paid. So yeah, that's tonight's stream then. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I do recommend that you rewatch the stream from the beginning. You know, if you have any questions about it, then you can literally just ask. I'll be more than happy to take your questions. And yeah, I hope that you've really enjoyed this one. And I will catch you in the side of the Discord. And you know, have a brilliant week ahead. Any questions that you might have that haven't been answered here, I've had no more come in. So if you think of any questions after you've rewatched, maybe, you know, feel free to ask in Discord. And obviously the best place to ask now is the trading help section. So in here, this is the best place to ask questions. So really inside of this chat is not the best place. Ask all questions inside of trading help. That's where you'll get a response, like for sure, cannot be missed, etc. Anything you might have, ask inside of there. That's obviously for all the contenders and champions. And yeah, I'll catch you over in Discord as I probably go and resume trading this straight away. So thank you once again, everybody. Hope that this one has been insightful. I feel that it's very important to understand how I take the majority of my trades and the reasons behind that. So thank you once again, everybody. I'll catch you next week and have a brilliant time reviewing the content and learning and trading. Cheers. Thank you and goodbye.